1, a deck's pretty much complete until the next pack comes out. 2, this is going to be a revamped version of one of my previous decks. As you can tell in the description, in the title, it's going to be Spirals. 3, I'm planning on most likely redoing my ancient gears. I'm gonna see what I can do with them. The deck's really not going to change that much, so I'll probably just put its deck list in the description of the ancient gear video. And now moving on to the traps of this spiral deck is I have 2 ancient gear, not ancient, oh my god, fuck, 2 spiral mission rescues. I don't actually mind it. I got a friend at my, I got my friend where I usually go for tournaments, says that it's a card that he doesn't want any spiral missions in his deck entirely. I would probably say at least run maybe 2 rescues and 1 recapture, but so far I haven't actually had a lot of problems with it. So this is, as I'm saying, is about spiral mission recapture. And then next up for the last trap is going to be a spiral gear utility wire. If you haven't guessed by now, I do a lot of pure decks, which I do like it, and the fact that I'm cheap as fuck. So usually when it gets expensive, like when you actually add some extra support from some older decks or some newer decks, usually it helps. Usually running the pure version helps out in terms of budget. But next up is 3 for spells is 3 spiral big red, spiral gear big red, sorry. Then 3 spiral resorts. Opponent can't target any spiral monsters with card effects. I think which it is. And yeah, once per turn you can add 1 spiral monster back from your deck to your hand. Next is 3 spiral gear fully armed. I had to trade something really expensive just to get this guy to budge on these. The store where I was at wasn't selling them, at least for a reasonable price. The guy that I had to trade it, was a bit of a stupid idea, but I got 2 last resorts and 3 fully armed, and I think the guy still owes me something. But I had to trade him for I pulled the day that I went, which was yesterday, Saturdays in terms of American, but I pulled a Dragonic diagram out of some packs that I pulled. So I tried selling it for like $60. No one was willing to buy it, or to the point to where no one actually had cash to buy it. And it's kind of burning a hole in my hand. It's like what happens when you have like $1 million. It's like it's gonna burn a hole in your hand, a hole in your wallet. It's gonna get to the point where it's annoying and you don't know what you want to do with it. Because I'm never going to build True Kings, so yeah, sure, I'll get the True Kings just to trade them off, but that's about it. Next is going to be Spiral Mission Assault. I would say it's the main draw power, since this deck has a lot of search power, but for sometimes an extra draw would be is likable. So, and plus the fact that you can destroy pretty much anything on your opponent's field, so it's like, hey, why not? Next is a Pot of Inheritance. Yeah, for once I can fucking pronounce this damn shit. Yeah, forgot about that. I curse. I replaced the second copy of Pot of Inheritance with something else, which will be coming up. Next is a 1-for-1. Most of this deck isn't gonna really change much, except maybe for a couple spells and all that. But I might as well go ahead and put another video out for it. Next up is Machine Duplication. After that is a Twin Twister. Common, because I'm cheap as fuck. And last is a Terraforming. I'm thinking about bumping this up to maybe at least 2. In terms of spells, though, I actually like how it is. So when I get to monsters, I might just replace. I have two of the monsters in there that I might as well replace and get rid of them. But aside from that, also, if you're wondering why I keep referencing the older video and why it's not there, is because I most likely got rid of it. If I didn't, well, then you can go ahead and watch the old one and see how that one works. I'll probably just keep the older ones, and pretty much what's going to happen is that I'll keep the older ones, but what else was it? I'll keep the older videos for every time support comes out, and if the support's worthwhile, then I'll go ahead and make a video of it, which in fucking Maximum Crisis, it was worth it. It's worth it. Like, the fully armed itself is BS, and then you get over to like the shit like Last Resort. That's overpowered. That's the easiest way to put it. Next is 3 SPYRAL super agents in terms for monsters now. That is kind of like a must-have in this deck. I do run 3 SPYRAL Toughs. I like Tough. He might be a little slow, but he still counts as a SPYRAL in the grave and field. Super agent on the field and grave. So basically, he's the what was it? I remember the name. It was something. But next is SPYRAL quik-fix. Run 3, definitely. Next is going to be SPYRAL drone. SPYRAL gear drone. That would be nice to run at 3, because it's pretty much one of the fastest ways to get out your fucking SPYRAL super agent. Next is going to be 3 SPYRAL gear last resort. Love this fucker. Pretty much acts like SPYRAL resort, but it's equipable, but that's not that bad actually. Because if you can have SPYRAL resort and SPYRAL last resort on the field, you have pretty much nothing that can die. It's in terms of targeting and card effects. Next is going to be a SPYRAL sleeper. Only run 1, because if you run 2, then it's kind of a little clunky. I thought about running a second one since a pot of inheritance, but it kind of just just didn't sit well with me. Next is going to be Spygal Misty. She's one of the cards I want to get rid of and switch it out for something else. I'll probably switch it out for a Rhoda, or if you don't know what that means, a reinforcement of the army. Next is a Charming Resort Staff. I might just switch this one out for another Terraforming, because right now I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Is legit what I don't know. Because the main decks, these top 6 areas, like these cards right here, are the ones that you actually want, and maybe a Maxx, but it's the Maxx's there. If it's there, you get it, and it doesn't matter. And again, cheap copy. I'm broke as fuck, like usual. So that's about it for most of the spirals. Like my Ancient Gears, I did post a question because I didn't know that ruling. I do gotta ask about rarities. I'm the guy that just says fuck the rarity and don't give a damn about it. But I see a lot of people panicking over what rarity they get and what rarity they don't get. I don't care what the rarity is, I just care if I can play it or not. So if someone can go ahead and put it in the description, or not the description, comment section, about why people freak out about rarities, and also if someone can go ahead and put in the comment section as well, if someone can go ahead and give me suggestions for spirals, because it's not entirely complete, and I am open to opinions. I do have a lot of decks that I'm planning. I'm planning on building artifacts. Probably mix that with something. I do have a Kaiju Zodiac deck working on right now. I have pretty much everything in terms of Zodiac that I need. I just gotta go get some Kaiju shit, which isn't difficult since they're cheap as fuck. And I got a friend that used to run Kaiju, still has all of his Kaiju shit as well. So I'll probably just go ahead and get his Kaiju stuff off him. But in terms of that, yeah. And I actually pulled most of my Zodiac shit from decks. I have, I think, 3 Zodiac Barrage, and I pulled all of those from packs. And I kind of just bought the little promo boxes that they give you, that you can buy, where it gives you like 4 packs, and then it gives you like 2 promo cards. That's usually what I do in terms of buying packs and all that, because the promo cards are actually worth it. They're usually not in the pack, and they're usually some of the only ways to get them. While I'm talking about said ways to get them, I think I have my spiral shit. Not spirals, Zodiacs. Oh, well, great, now I can fix that too. There's vampires. I'll probably redo my vampire video as well. But reason why I'm saying this is because there is a cockatoo roost, I don't know, that is a super rare. I know rarity isn't entirely worthwhile, but I kind of do like rarity, and sometimes when I'm doing something like Zodiacs, maybe, but that's only to piss some people off, because cockatoo roost, I don't know, I'm just gonna call it cockatoo. It was part of the Raging Tempest promo box. It was one of the promo cards you can get, so I was kind of like the fact that I was able to grab one, get three, able to grab three of them, and it was actually really useful. It's not that bad of a card for Zodiacs. I know I got some shit in here in Zodiac Minder and Portion. Like I said, I have almost everything. I don't have the expensive XYZs in terms of Zodiacs, which I got a friend that can help me out with that. At the very least, what I can do is probably do like a loan kind of thing, where it's like I'll pay him over time kind of shit. But in terms of the video, that's about it. Peace and bye.